Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome to Wild Eye Week. We're going to have a lot of fun this week. We're going to review 7 movies in 7 days, and I wanted to thank Brad from Bronco Juggalo for asking me to participate. I really appreciate it. Now, this, of course, is day one, and with day one, I picked Weird Fiction. Now, before I get into my review, I wanted to take the time to thank Wild Eye for sending me this copy to review for you guys. They have a great company. They are definitely where it's at with independent horror. I'm going to put the links for their YouTube channel and their official website in the description box below. Definitely check them out. Once again, they are where it's at with independent horror. Now, Weird Fiction is a 2018 film which runs approximately 87 minutes and is written and directed by Jacob Parrott. Now, he was responsible for Spine Chiller and Creature in the Dark. Now, this stars Taylor Rhodes. He was in Spine Chiller and Creature in the Dark. Isabella Rodriguez. She was in Spine Chillers. And Mackenzie Anthony, who has nothing to her credit. Now, this was done for $300, and it was filmed in Pennsylvania. Now, I'm going to do this much like I do most anthology movies, because this is, of course, is an anthology movie. I'm going to lay out what the anthologies with these different segments are. I'm going to rate them and then give the movie an overall rating. Now, first of all, we have our number one segment called Good Night Daddy. This was my favorite of the bunch. They came out so strong in this one. This got an 8 out of 10 from me. It is a slasher, and I'm just going to tell you what kind it is. I'm not really going to give you a synopsis since they are mostly short films. The second one is called Night of the Sitter. This was also fantastic. Not quite as good as Goodnight Daddy, but very close. I gave this one a 7.5 out of 10. The next segment is called The Incubus. Now, most people who know me know that I'm not a huge fan of vampire ones. This is a vampire segment, and it got a 6 out of 10 for me. And finally, Cosmic Terror. This one was a lot of fun, and it got a 7 out of 10. Now, of course, we have our wraparound, which is called The Collector Bits, and it got an 8 out of 10 for me. Now, this is very low budget. It's an anthology, and it is done with a ton of passion and a ton of homages to other horror movies. You could really tell that the people who are doing this, and they all basically starred in the same segments. They love horror. You can tell it was just so much fun. And it had a weird 80s throwback vibe to it, which for $300, they did a hell of a job. I really enjoyed this. This movie is so much fun, and I'm so glad to start out Wild Eye Week with Weird Fiction. Now, overall, this anthology gets a 7.5 from me. That's a pretty high score for an anthology, because there's usually bits that I love and bits that I don't particularly care for. All of the filming in this was pretty good. I couldn't pick out one that I didn't particularly care for. My lowest score was a 6 out of 10, and that was just because it concerned vampires, and it's something that I had pretty much seen before. But great movie, awesome anthology. Definitely check this one out. This gets a high rating, and for such a low budget film, I was in all the way. And don't forget to check out everyone else doing Wild Eye Week. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.